It is now my pleasure to introduce our College of Biological Sciences commencement student speaker, Ms. Mounika Bhaskara. Mounika is graduating with a degree in Neurobiology, Physiology and Behavior. She plans on attending a master's program, either studying stem cells or medical physiology before applying to medical school. Please join me in welcoming Mounika.
Good morning, friends, family, faculty, and graduates. Today is a truly momentous day. The class of 2018, we finally made it on time at 8 a.m. for the first time. Not too long ago, we were all so clueless, setting foot in Davis with dreams in our head and stars in our eyes. But at that time, a lot of us knew one thing for sure. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Today, we know more about the mitochondria than we do about our distant cousins. All those NADHs and FADHs make my head hurt. And to those of you in the audience wondering what the heck those words mean, just know that the graduates seated before you have spent countless hours asking the same question. I stand before you with the distinct honor of having been on a certain list several times during my years at UC Davis, the esteemed class wait list. While struggling to get that one open seat, I quickly learned that there are things you should never place on your life's wait list, and the most important one is love. Because remember, the time to love is now. The time to love is now, even when you wonder how, especially when you wonder how. The time to love yourself is now. Because each one of you seated in front of me makes me want to go, wow. Each of you, a survivor, a legend, praying for this ceremony to end. Look around you. Recall all the struggles that we've been through. We survived midterms after picnic day, chugging coffee at BioBrew. We lived through mechanism after mechanism, synthesis after synthesis, organic chemistry almost driving us to psychosis. Now that we've passed Occam somehow, remember to love yourself now. Look around you. Look at the progress and growth. School and fun? We had them both. While some learned to cook without setting off the fire alarm, others spent time milking the cows at the dairy farm. While some actually focused in intro to bio and learned about biloba, others were busy savoring their favorite flavor of boba. Some wanted to orchestrate another Big Bang to create space to park, while others were busy struggling to lift at the arc, looking at each other going, bruh, do you even lift? But no matter which of these you did, make sure you catch my drift. Because despite all these struggles since that first day, so far we've come. Once we learned that the late night cookies at the DC were so yum. So the time to love is now. The time to love yourself is now. You've accomplished so much. It's finally your day, so take a bow. But before that, I want to tell you a little story. A few years ago, my dad and I were on campus for the pre-health conference. Walking past the Death Star, I thought I would never attend UC Davis with a lot of confidence, simply because the Death Star looked so incomplete and broke. 4 years later, now that I'm so woke, I understand how wrong I was, and that I judged it with no probable cause. But back then, under the illusion of choice and an unheard voice, I decided to go here. So today, I want to tell my family loud and clear, and in fact, to all the families and loved ones, your decisions are always home runs. Maybe you do know what's best for us. Sometimes, I repeat, sometimes. But without your love and support, this mission of college, we would have had to abort. To put us through school, we've seen you sacrifice. And a simple thank you will never suffice. You decided that the time to love us was always now, and you were constantly there somehow. Now, how can we forget our wonderful faculty, our academic adjudicators, our path illuminators, the ones who always showered their love upon us in the form of a generous curve, which was always a plus. And today, as we leave this place and go off on our paths of greatness, as we continue to bask in the love that we've gotten in our Davis community, I want to remind you of one thing. The time to love is now, in a climate of discrimination and injustice that still exists somehow. I stand before you today in a blanket of love stitched by the people around me, giving me a home in a country I didn't call home, with so much glee. I stand before you not just as me, but as an amalgam of everyone in a community where love has always won, reminding you not to limit this to the Davis community, but to always love everyone with purity. Because here at Davis, we're so highbrow. Remember, the time to love is now. Thank you.